Hi, my name is Ahmad Turkmani. Today I will present our application that it's called LOL Mapper Sustainable Transportation. So I will start with the first slides. What is the demand of this product? First of all, European commuter who are looking for more efficient and sustainable transportation options for their daily travel needs when they move from their home to their jobs or business work. Second, business travelers who they are looking for ways to reduce their carbon footprint and meet sustainability goals of their companions. Uh, Third, tourists and travelers who they are looking and interested in travel and reducing their environmental impact while exploring new countries and area. Fourth is students and young people who are looking for a cost-effective and sustainable transportation options. This is the people or the demand of our application. Hi, my name is Ahmad Turkmani. Today I will present our application that it's called LOL Mapper Sustainable Transportation. So hi, let's move now to second slide of the presentations, the features comparison. So the comparison between our app and the Romi to Rayo. So the focus, although Romi to Rio attempts to give information about all the transportations choices, our applications has a particular focus on the green travel when compared to Romi to Rio. Also real-time information by providing consumers with the real-time information available on the routes schedule. Our programs help them plan their trips more efficiently. Romi to Rio provides information on the routes and schedule but doesn't include real-time elements. Third, comparison between our and the other user experience. Our application is user-friendly. UI was created with the customers who is concerned with minimizing the carbon impact. On the second hand, Romi to Rio has more open design, which might not be ideal for the people that are primarily focused on the sustainable. Number four, real-time information. Our application offers customers real-time information on available routes and timetables, enabling them to make more efficient travel plans. But Romi to Rio offers data on the routes and timetables but doesn't include a real-time component. Thank you. Hi, let's move now to the third slide about the personas. So I have four personas in our app. First one, who is John. John, he is a businessman. He always on the road, traveling around the world to develop his business. And he is seeking for environmental method during his transportation. Second persona is Sarah. Sarah, she's a professional musician. So she always commute from her house to the city for her work. She's looking always for the efficient and very effective environmental sustainable commute. Third one is Tom. Tom, he's a student in the college. He has a tight budget and he's looking to find sustainable transportation option on his daily commute. Fourth one is Rachel, the eco tourist. Rachel, she's loving to travel around the country to recognize a new area, and she's looking always to find a practical and environmental method to move during her exploring. Let's move now to user scenarios. So first one, how Sarah will use the application. In order to utilize the application, Sarah must first create a profile in order to track her carbon emissions. After entering her travel information, including her destination, dates, and passengers counts, she will utilize the application to organize her next work trip. Uh, then there is John. How is John using the application? John, he will creating the profile to track his carbon emissions. In the first step, Jack, he will use the app. After entering his travel information, including the destination, dates, and numbers of passengers, he will utilize the application to organize his subsequent college trip. A list of a list of available modes of transportation together with their corresponding carbon emissions. And the third, Tom. Tom, he would create a profile for himself and his family before using the application. The software then the software will compute and track their carbon emissions as they book their transportation through it. Tom can access their carbon impact after their journey. Let's move now to get some results from the survey that we did in our app. So I will mention as example how the travelers or the computers they are frequently use our application is 63 multiple times. It's mentioned in our survey. So 63% of the travelers or computer they are using our LOL mapper transportation sustainable transportation applications. And also second survey about what is your preferred mode of transportation. They prefer to use car to move from area to area. And also in our survey mentioned how this application important for the travelers. So 63.6 this application is very important. And also on the addition all the travelers or computers they prefer through our application to receive alerts for as a booking price when the booking price has been changed. And also the 63% of the survey mentioned that all the people they are emphasizing to use environmentally friendly transportation option. So it's a good percentage of the computer and travelers they are interested to use a very sustainable way to move and using it through their computers. So let's me now talk about the top ranked features of our applications. So first one, it's a carbon emission calculator, a sustainable transportation companion application could have a carbon emission calculator features that allow user to calculate the carbon footprint of their travel and provide suggestions for way to reduce it. Second, sustainable travel options. The application could provide users with sustainable transportation options such as public transportation, walking, or biking routes, and reduce their carbon emissions. Third, real-time traffic updates. The application could provide real-time traffic updates to help users plan their routes and avoid traffic jams, reducing the time spent idling and thus reducing carbon emissions. Number four, incentive for sustainable travel. The application could provide incentives for users who choose sustainable travel options such as a discount on fares or rewards points.
Here we can start from the slide number 7, low rank features. As previous mentioned, LOL Mapper is not designed for a sustainable transportation, so it is not appropriate to discuss its low ranked features in this context. However, for a sustainable transport company's app, some potential lowest ranked features could include limited coverage, poor accuracy, lack of integrations, inconventions, limited interventions, and limited educational resources. Here we can start from limited coverage. An app that only provides sustainable travel options for a limited geographic area for a specific modes of transportation may not be useful for user traveling outside that area of using different modes of transportation. The second feature is poor accuracy. An app that provides inaccurate information on travel routes, carbon emission, or other data can lead to incorrect decision making and negatively impact the user's carbon footprint reduction efforts. And the third step is lack of integrations. An app that does not integrate with other travel apps such as ride sharing or public transportation app may make it difficult for users to use it. And the fourth feature is inconventions. An app that is difficult to navigate to or use discourage users from using it, making it less effective in reducing carbon footprint. Fifth feature is limited incentives. An app that does not offer sufficient incentives or rewards for sustainable travel options may not be effective in motivating users to make sustainable choices. And the last step is limited educational resources. An app that does not provide education and awareness resources or sustainable transportation practice may not be effective in changing user behavior and reducing carbon footprint. Here we move to the next slide. And here we are starting the slide number 8. Here there are some features who are not considered. As previously mentioned, LOL Mapper is not designed for sustainable transportations, so it's not appropriate to discuss the features not considered of LOL Mappers in this context. However, for a Sustainable Transportation Commission app, some potential features that may not be considered for reducing carbon footprint could include entertainment content, including that it is not related to sustainable transportation, such as music, games, or videos may distract users from the app's main purpose and reduce its effectiveness it's in reducing carbon footprint. The next feature that is not considered is social media integrations. Integrating social media features into the app may be unnecessary and could detract from the app's focus on sustainable transportation. The next feature is weather updates. Although weather updates can be helpful in planning transportation, these features may not directly contribute to reduce carbon footprint. And the fourth step is in-app purchase. Including in-app purchases may make the app less accessible to some users and could reduce its effectiveness it's in promoting sustainable transportation. And the last step is language support. Including language support for languages that are not widely spoken in the app target region may be unnecessary and could detract from the app's primary purpose. Here we have moved to the next slide. Here you are starting slide number 10, user testing what well done. What went well of the Lowell Mapper's sustainable transportation to the reduced carbon footprint? The first one is accurate carbon footprint calculation. An app that accurately calculates the carbon footprint of different travel modes and provides personalized recommendations for reducing emissions can be very effectively in helping users reduce their carbon footprint. Next well done step is real-time data and updates. An app that provides real-time data and updates on traffic, public transportation schedules, and alternatively sustainable travel options can help user make informed decisions and choose the most sustainable and effective modes of transportation. The next step is incentive for sustainable travels. An app that provides incentives for sustainable travel such as rewards point, discounts, and or loyalty programs can encourage users to adopt sustainable transportation practices and reduce their carbon footprint. The last step is seamless integration with other apps and services. An app that seamlessly integrates with other transportation apps such as ride sharing or public transportations app can provide users with a comprehensive and convenient solution for planning their journey. And here we move to the next slide. Slide number 11, user testing what didn't go well. What didn't go well of Lawlmaper's sustainable transportation to reduce carbon footprint? The first one is limited data and coverage. An app has limited data and coverage for sustainable geographic areas or transportation modes. We're not able to provide user with accurate and complete information, which could limit in effectiveness in reducing carbon footprint. The next step, which didn't go well, is inaccurate or outdated information. An app that provides inaccurate and outdated information on travel routes, schedules, or carbon emissions could negatively impact users' decision making and contribute to increased carbon emission. And the third step is lack of user engagement. An app that does not engage user effectively through insensitive rewards or educational resources may not be effective in promoting sustainable transportation practices and reducing carbon footprint. The last step is difficult to use or navigate. An app that is difficult to use or navigate could discourage users from adopting sustainable transportation practices and limits the app's effectiveness in reducing carbon footprints. And here we move to the next slide. We are starting from slide number 12, some positive feedbacks. We got some positive feedbacks like user-friendly interface. A user appreciates a clean and easy to use interface that makes it easy to navigate the app's features. And the other feedback is personalized recommendations. Users like receiving personalized recommendation for environmental consumption transportation options based on their locations and preference. The next feedback is user enjoy of gamification aspects of the app and such as setting goals and getting rewards for sustainable transportation choice. And the other feedback is real-time information. Users appreciate the real-time information on traffic congestion, public transportation delays, and other factors that may affect their transportation choices. And the last feedbacks, the last but not least, the carbon footprint tracking. User finds the carbon footprint trackers useful for monitoring the environment impact and making sustainable transportation choices. And here we are starting from slide number 13. Some negative feedbacks we find. Technical issues. User may experience technical issues such as slow loading time or crashes, which can make using the app frustrating. The second issue is the limited transportation option. Some users may find that the app doesn't offer enough transportation options in their area or doesn't integrate with all modes of transportation. And the third feedback we find is incorrect recommendations. User may receive recommendations that doesn't accurately reflect their preference or transportation needs. And the fourth feedback we find is lack of customization. Some users may want more control over the app's setting and preference, such as the ability to customize the carbon footprint calculation. The last feedback we find is cost. The app charges a fee for access. Some users may be hesitate to pay for it, especially if there are other free alternatives available.
Let me now talk about the surprise findings of our application. So, as a statement on what the group sought went well and tasks actions from the user feedback that surprised the group. So, the tasks that took longer than expected, errors or conditions from the users. Second, real-time traffic updates. The application should provide real-time traffic so the users can plan their routes accordingly and avoid any traffic conjunctions or any busy or jam traffics. Additionally, some users reported experiencing errors or delays when they are using the applications. So that shed lights about the technical issue we have to avoid it to proceed with our applications. So the group identified these issues as a high priority tasks for improvement and worked so hard to optimize the application and update it for the next steps. So overall, the group felt that the user feedback was invaluable and evaluated and identifying the areas that needs to be improved in our applications. Let's move now to promo our application. So the first page, the interface, includes a username and password, and if the customers forget his password he can press there, then start with login. Next page with the customer name, last trip he used the application, he went to the location, destination for the new destination, and your location where he would like to go, calendar and destinations, and here the calendar and the map. Then here you will see the customer name, number of kilometers of his trip, date, month, year, carbon footprint, and total of payment he paid the customers and refund amount if there is any refund. Here also the number of the ride 1, ride 2, ride 3. Here driver name, the information of the driver, car details, payment, trip fare, promotion, taxes, all of this stuff. So this application is very helpful for the computer, for the student. They would like to reduce their carbon footprint emissions, and of course it's need more development or more updates, but I think it will be very useful. Thank you. So now the lessons learned from our applications. First, user-centered design. Sustainable transportation campaign application should be designed with the user's needs and performance in mind. It should be easy to use, to be able to be accessible for all the users, and intuitive and provide relevant information that helps user make informed decision about their transportation choices. Second, data accuracy and coverage. A sustainable transportation campaign application should have accurate and comprehensive data on the transportation routes, schedules, and carbon footprint emissions. Third, integration with the other transportation services. A sustainable transportation companion application should integrate it with the other transportation services, such as public transportation, car sharing, and bike sharing, to provide users or customers with comprehensive solutions for planning their journeys and reducing their carbon footprint. Fourth, education and engagement. A sustainable transportation companion application should provide the users with the educational resources and incentive to encourage sustainable transportation practice. Uh, Five, user testing and feedback. A sustainable transportation application campaign should undergo rigorous user testing and feedback to ensure its effectiveness and reducing carbon footprint. This required an entitled design proceed that takes into account user feedback and continuously improve the application functionality and usability. Now I will move to speak about the appendix. So first of all, the context of the sustainable transportation campaign. User stories include as a computer who wants to reduce the carbon footprint. I want to be able to compare the carbon emission of different transportation modes so that I can make an informed decision about which mode to use. Second, as a frequent traveler who wants to reduce the carbon footprint, I want to be able to plan my journeys using the companion of public transportation and other sustainable transportation modes so that I can minimize my carbon emissions. Third, as a novice bike, third, as a novice bike rider who wants to reduce the carbon footprint, I want to be able to find safe and convenient bike routes so that I can commute to work or school without relying on a car. Number four, as a car owner who wants to reduce the carbon footprint, I want to be able to track my car's carbon emissions so that I can make adjustments to my driving habits and maintenance and do the maintenance schedule to reduce my impact on the environment.